Okay, it's hustle time. It's lunchtime. So I'm gonna run and get some potting soil and a little bit of seed starting mix, just a little bit. I'm not, it's almost time to be out in the garden, so I'm not gonna do a lot of seed starting, but I have a couple things I wanna get started. So we'll run and do this on my lunch break, and then we'll head over to the garden after work. Thinking about adding some pretty flowers this year. I had marigolds last year, but they were just to deter the bugs. But now I want some pretty flowers. Okay, look at these hydrangea. This is my vibe. This pink is everything. But now back to the task at hand to get these T-posts. I started off with 4-foot T-posts and they were not large enough. So now I'm getting the heavy duty 6-foot T-posts from Home Depot, and I'm going to get 4 of them so I can put 2 on each side of my arch. I ran into a little problem with the T-posts. They would not fit in my car, but we made it work. We figured it out. Back home in the garage, that was a close call. One, I did not anticipate Home Depot being that busy in the middle of the day on a weekday. So there's that. Two, I almost couldn't get the T-post in the car. They were too big. But one thing about me, I am Joe Carter's granddaughter, and we're gonna get it done. We'll figure out a way to get done whatever needs to be done. So I wrapped my scarf around the top of the T-post and laid it on the car. Duchess is pretty, but she's a workhorse. I'm not gonna buy a horse. I'm not gonna buy a car that I can't drive and that I can't use, right? So yes, she's pretty, but yeah, she's gonna have to haul around some garden soil, some potting soil, some T-posts, some buckets. Like, we're gonna put her to work. I am seriously thinking about buying a garden car, but that just seems excessive. But like just a little cash car that I buy off Facebook Marketplace that I haul my stuff around in and drive back and forth to the garden so that I'm not putting a bunch of miles on my car and so that I'm not putting the wear and tear on my car that I do. Because I do. I treat her like, she's a car. But I ended up getting the T-post home. I just got a little bit of potting mix for some seeds and just one large bag of raised bed garden soil for just a little bit of work that I want to do. I put the hydrangeas back. They were beautiful. That's the color that I want and everything, but I'm not ready. I have to finish prepping the garden. I need to get it together. I need to get weeds up before I put anything else in. And I want it to look nice. So I don't want to put the cart before the horse. So today, when I finish work, it's more cleanup, more prep, and I'll have plenty of time to get flowers in the garden. All right, it's 5:22. I just pulled up at the community garden. There are lots of people here. I'm just not ready for all this human interaction. Anyway, I just pulled up. My goal today is to get my arch secured. I thought that the next video I was going to show you my beautiful arch, but I got it done, and then someone let me know that it was leaning. She sent me a picture and said it's leaning. So that's why I went and got the heavy duty T-post. And so I want to get my arch secured, get some weeding done, and try to get that done in the next hour and a half. Okay, well, there are more people out here than I thought. It's just busy. I'm going to try to get up on this step stool and replace these T-posts without busting my butt, especially with all of the audience that I have. But I showed you the before. Let's see if I can get an after. Okay, so I grabbed my gloves because my mom told me to wear my gloves in the garden. And I was thinking that would help me to grip the T-post better because I was yanking and pulling, but it wasn't coming out. And then I figured out that yes, I needed the gloves, but I also needed to cut one zip tie. I missed a zip tie. And once I got that cut, I was able to then pull the one T-post out. And it was like literally one down, three to go. This would definitely have been easier to do with two people, but I didn't have a second person to help me, so I just made it work. Here I am trying to find the hole that I just pulled the first T-post out of, and then just getting this started in that hole before I work to beat it down some with the mallet. And definitely do as I say, not as I do, because it was so dangerous for me to be up on this step stool in the garden with the legs like sinking into the ground and it was uneven. I mean, it just was not the best idea, but listen, we're going to do what we need to do. So I'm like, let's try the T-post driver because I'd seen many people on YouTube using the T-post driver, and that seemed to make the job easier. But not so much. Not so much for me. But I turned the camera off and got to work and eventually got it done. All right, Mom, I have one side that I changed. I'm trying to decide if I'm going to change the other T-post on the other side. The arch looks so much better. I'm being cheap and I really don't want to keep the T-post if I don't have to. We'll see. Next, I spent about an hour pulling weeds, and you probably can't tell, but it was a lot of work. One of the things I didn't think about was just placement and how easy or how difficult it was going to be to even get to the weeds. Okay, I'm hard at work out here, but someone just gifted me some sedum. I said I wasn't going to do any planting, but I have to get it in the ground if it's gifted. So what I think I'm going to do is put it in one of my wine crates. What I haven't showed you is that I got these wine crates off of Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to do herbs and flowers in them. So this is just like a sneak peek of what it's going to look like. It's not really planted yet. Sun is going down, and the community garden rules are that we can only be in the garden when the sun is up. So I'm wrapping up, but I got a lot done, and I'm feeling really, really good about this arch, which I am planning to grow loofah on. Stay tuned for another video. Happy gardening.